every year for the past 4 or 5 years now, I've successfully completed Chris Samney's Battober challenge. But this past year was different. Tune in to see why. In case you're not familiar with Battober, what it is, it's an art challenge. The person throwing the challenge, which in my case has been artist Chris Samney, puts a list of prompts up, and your job is to basically draw something Batman related with these prompts. Now, what I've always done is I've done kind of different takes on them. I don't like to do anything too violent, and I like to limit the number of times I use the same characters, or at least I have in the past, which was a challenge in itself. One year I was able to do every single day of October without actually having Batman in place. But I digress. The reason I was unable to finish this year, it's actually a couple of reasons. First, the challenge itself, I realized, was a little redundant, in my opinion, compared to prior years. I quickly figured out that a lot of the same terms and prompts that have been used in prior years were present this year. Now, more so than usual. I have noticed that there are repeating phrases in the past, but never anything like this. I really do think that every single day that prompt was reused from a prior year. While I haven't really minded it this much in the past, repeating terms and phrases and whatnot, it bothered me this year because I felt like it was every single day. And I mean every day. And that kind of took a little bit of fun out of it. Another reason why I did not get to finish Battober for 2024 has to do with my own scheduling. I was a little over-ambitious. See, traditionally, every year, whenever I do Battober, I also, on the same month, October, it's Italian American History Month, I like to draw a different picture of a notable Italian American or Italian from history. So really, when somebody just doing Battober, they're doing 31 pictures. I'm actually just doing 62 pictures. And it's a little difficult now, especially with 2 children, to be able to sit down consistently every single day and do 2 separate drawings and challenge myself at the same time and make sure that the drawings are good. I tried to warm myself up a little bit with a challenge where I drew pictures from my favorite films. I'm still doing that challenge. I just haven't returned back to it, which kind of led into the, I guess you could say, the third reason that I did not get to finish Battober this year. And please understand, when I say reason, I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you how it is. I could have and have thought about going back and just finishing the rest of the prompts, but to be honest with you, it's just not in me. And that has to do kind of with that first reason I was explaining. But anyway, the third reason actually has to do with my shoulder. If you've watched any bit of my artistic journey, or if you've heard me speak on a live show just about my artwork, then you may know a few years ago I had surgery to repair a torn rotator cuff. And during that time, I had a lot of downtime. I had not been drawing or painting or anything like that for quite some time. But while I was home, there's only so much Netflix you could watch. I should also note that this is before kids. So I had more than enough time on my hands, and I was home from work for a couple weeks recovering. I had always talked to my wife about returning to art, and she surprised me one day with a watercolor set and said, guess what? While you're home, turn off the Netflix, no video games, you are going to do some art. And I did. And I slowly got really kind of more confident in my skills again, and just kind of awakening these, I guess, the art within. I know that's how that sounds, but whatever. People don't realize is that when you practice artwork and when you're an artist, it's not something you could turn on and off necessarily. It is a practice, and it is a muscle that you have to hone day in and day out in order to really kind of keep everything going and improving. Luckily, for me, it was a case of muscle memory where I was able to get back, I think, to my same level, or similar level, why don't we say, within a couple months. And then I do feel like as I've drawn more and more and more and experimented with more mediums, like paint and drawing and digitally, when I say digitally, I'm talking about just drawing on an iPad. I'm not talking about AI art, my feelings on that. I feel like I've been evolving more and more. And also, as you can see, a lot of these pictures I was drawing, it kind of gets a little intricate, and that does wear on my arm a lot. And unfortunately, about midway through, my arm was killing me. This is why this was the last picture, by the way. And I wanted to make it something special. If you look, the word was loud, and I had a funny idea of, hey, let's put Alfred the butler at a metal show. And that kind of evolved into, let me put some people from the YouTube. About to see a previously unreleased work, I guess you could say. It was an alternate drawing I had done for Bitter. I'll talk about that in just a few moments. And then you're actually going to see another piece I just completed earlier today. But if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment hashtag Battober, and you'll get an entry into the 1K giveaway. So this is an example of an idea I had that, although I liked the drawing, it didn't quite work out. The word was bitter. And I thought, hey, let's put that drink that Alfred has in that last of the Nolan films, because that, if I remember correctly, contained bitters. And although I did, I was like, this is kind of a loose connection. Finally, here's one, a piece I just did earlier today. I was just kind of screwing around. Sometimes I do that just to get the channel art. And it turned out to be pretty good. I like it a lot. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what your favorite piece was in the comments. And peace, love, and comics. Thank you.